Kick back and eyes front, because the view starts now. Senator Jeff Flake gives his political view on how he changed the course of the Kavanaugh hearings after an emotional confrontation, and why he still ended up voting for him anyway. And it's Meghan's birthday. So watch what happens live when Andy Cohen hits the table. It's expensive to be Meg. And we're treating her to a command performance from her Real Housewives obsession, Erica Jane. Let's fire up Hot Topics with Whoopi, Abby Huntsman, Joy Behar, Sunny Hostin, and Meghan McCain.
My spear horn.
That's great.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Really quick, it is my birthday today. Thank you all so much for everything. I just have to say one quick thing really quickly. I'm feeling very charitable today. If any of you are feeling charitable, there's a John McCain Endowed Chair in Brain Cancer Research for the TGen Glioblastoma Research. If you are feeling charitable, I'm happy to be alive today. Go donate to brain cancer research so no one has to go through glioblastoma like my family did.
Excellent.
Okay?
And just so you know, we got some special guests later on.
Yes.
You know, but how you feeling today? I love your heart.
Yeah, you look beautiful.
I mean, not to be, first of all, I love the Arizona. Thank you so much. I'm just really happy to be healthy and alive. And there's so many of my friends in the audience, and I love this show, and I love all of you. And I'm such a cheese ball today, which is not normal. And I'm just really grateful for my health and to work on a show that people watch all the time.
Well,
yeah.
you light up all of our lives,
Thank
Meghan.
you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. I love each and every one of you bitches, whether I like it or not.
Well, but isn't that the thing that makes friends worthwhile?
Yeah.
You know, sometimes they piss you off, sometimes they don't, and that's what friends are.
Boring otherwise.
Well, I think it would be boring, and I also think that that if everyone is just like you, you never grow. So it's a great thing. And you know how I feel about birthdays. I think that they're really important because a lot of people that we know didn't get to be as old as we got to be. So I think it's important. And so we're going to get into some political stuff with Jeff Flake later on. But first, is it actually possible to take politics off the table these days? Because the barefoot Contessa, Ina Garten, who used to work for Presidents Ford and Carter as a nuclear budget analyst, says she never talks politics when she entertains. You think it's getting harder to do?
I'm still working on. She was a nuclear budget analyst.
Yes.
After
earning her MBA.
She was also a pilot when her husband Jeffrey was deployed in the Vietnam War. I mean, incredible woman.
By the way, if I come back in another life, I want to be Jeffrey, her husband.
Oh, my God.
I don't know if you watch her show. I adore her, and I love her show, and she brings you into her home.
She's
it's
very
like
real.
you want to live there because it's so warm, and she doesn't talk about politics.
When she, Jeffrey's home, my souffle is rising. So excited.
And he tastes everything, and he's actually a leading expert in international trade. So after a tour in Vietnam, he worked for the Nixon, Ford, and Carter administrations in foreign policy positions. So they're a real power couple, and she's doing something that she loves, which is entertaining.
But you know what? There's some people in your life, because we talked about dating someone of different political viewpoints, which I'm all for, but there's some people in your life that you just can't talk politics with. I have family members that we just know. It is so awkward at the dinner table that the minute it comes up, you have to retreat because someone's going to walk out of the room and it's not going to end well. And I think that's common for many people.
There are knives on the table, so you have to.
I know. And we've heard this story from other people. I mean, Reba McEntire, Dolly Parton. They're like, you know, I want people to get away from politics when I'm entertaining them. And I think maybe Ina has that same sort of philosophy.
But,
and maybe that works.
I think for me, everyone always wants to talk about politics, and I'm sure with all of you too when you go out, because you're talking about politics on TV every day.
No, I like to talk
and for me,
about it
I love it too. It's why we get along, because I always want to fight and debate, and if people don't want to talk about current events, I actually have a really harder time talking about like sweet, sensitive, like cooking. I'm sort of all right, like whatever, but I'm like, what about what's happening in Saudi Arabia? So
well, come to my shows, because I don't talk about politics. I talk about myself.
Yeah.
I talk about myself, and I talk about what's happening with my body. Things that used to be up here that are now down here. things that are going to happen to you. And one of the reasons we're saying this is because I've got live shows coming up.
Right. Yeah.
In Vegas. Actually, on Friday, I'm at the Westbury NYBC Theater in Westbury.
Right.
And then, you know, I do my birthday date, which will be the 9th this year in Las Vegas.
Yeah,
now, people always get very annoyed with me before they see the show because they figure I'm going to do exactly what I'm doing here. No.
No.
No,
It's very
I don't
different.
sing my movies.
No.
I don't do lines for
And
my
it's
movies.
so much fun. I went to see you at the King's Theater,
Yes,
and
you
I had
did.
such a good time.
It's a good time.
It's so much fun.
You know, if you want a break, if you want a little break, because I do, I need to remember what's going on in the world and all the good stuff. So I talk about some good stuff. But then I also talk about myself.
Yeah.
Again, happy birthday, you.
Happy birthday,
We'll be right back.
I have one more request. I would like this back.
We'll give it to you at the end of the show.
Still ahead, Senator Jeff Flake gives his political view. Andy Cohen's coming to our clubhouse for Megan's birthday. And Real Housewife Erica Jane has a special performance for Megan.
Oh, wait, no, I got it. I'm so sorry. You know, that's really what I do around here. Okay. What? I'm sorry, miss.
We had a little...
Joy was so excited about my birthday, she spilled her water
everywhere.
all
Exactly.
over the table.
I was going to say something totally different, but I can't. No.
I've never seen that. Has that ever happened to you?
Your TikTok
Yes.
flew everywhere.
It happens
It's my
all the
birthday,
time.
Who cares? Trump's president. All bets are off. It's fine.
Wait.
Oh, God.
Yeah, back up. Now, I know you're used to the baby sort of dropping a little wet on you.
I'm going to take it. I never get this.
Just,
I'm always the one cleaning. Thank you very much.
you're very welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Don't get used to it. A blog on Elite Daily is celebrating one of the most satisfying ways a woman can end the day by removing her bra. This is something I've known for 40 years. But do you agree?
You know, I wear my bra until I go to bed, and then I take it off. I know women in the audience are looking at me like I'm crazy.
I know. Thank you.
I don't know. I always do. I kind of grew up like that. My mom always told me, you know, you a proper lady wears her brassiere. But then Whoopi taught me last season that, because I always thought that if you didn't wear the bra most of the day, that your boobies would sag.
Yeah.
And then you taught me, you were like, that's totally not true. It makes no difference.
They're going to say again.
That makes no difference.
Yeah.
So
It's like your butt.
right. So
It's
now
going
I
to
may.
change. It's going to
I
change.
may start taking it off right away.
I cannot
when I get
stand
home.
it.
You
As
can't.
soon as I go home, I don't want to be groped by my undergarments, okay? it's like a Me Too moment with my brassiere.
I don't even wait till I hate bras so much, something we totally bond over. If any
What are you
given,
holding up?
any even day. I hate them. Any given
You
day.
really don't like wearing
Do
a
you
bra,
take
I
them
will
off
say.
right
Full
away?
disclosure, Megan has seen me pumping. She has seen
I
these
saw her
things
breast
in a much
pump.
different phase of life. They were not like this.
And by the way, to your credit, it was like National Geographic. I'm breastfeeding in front of everyone. I was like, this is what all women should see before you have a child.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful and a little traumatizing.
But you know what's worse than breastfeeding? Worse than the breastfeeding is having to wear a bra all the time.
You hate wearing a bra.
I hate bras so much. So I put them in my purse right after the show.
Really?
If you
So
open my
take it
bra
off right
or my
away?
purse any time of day, you'll see my bra in there.
You know,
Oh, hate it.
I couldn't breastfeed. My kid had a tooth. She had a bit of bone in her, and it was like, ow!
No.
Yeah, she was born with a little bit of bone. Couldn't do it. Could not do it. Your book comes out today.
It is
Jessica.
today.
Oh,
it is
that's
today.
Her brand new children's book, Who Will I Be? It's available everywhere today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
you
we will be right back.
That's cool.
Does Republican Senator Jeff Flake plan to challenge President Trump in 2020? He's on The View next.
Of the Justice Kavanaugh's hearings was Senator Jeff Flake getting confronted by sexual assault survivors, which led to the senator calling for an FBI investigation into allegations against Kavanaugh. Got questions for him. We hate that he's leaving. We have a lot of questions for him. Please welcome back Senator Jeff Flake. Can we start with a powerful moment in the elevator that captivated the nation? Let's take a look.
What you are doing is allowing someone who actually violated a woman to sit in the Supreme Court. This is not tolerable. You have children in your family.
Look at me when I'm talking to you. You're telling me that my assault doesn't matter. That what happened to me doesn't matter. Don't look away from me. Look at me and tell me that it doesn't matter what happened to me.
So when you watch that and the women are begging you, people are wondering, what happened?
Well, that was powerful. The president said they were paid protesters or whatnot. I don't believe that. They had a story to tell, and they wanted me to hear it. And it was effective, too. I was unsettled about the process. I felt that we should have done an FBI investigation. And I went from, that reaffirmed it, believe me, that experience in the elevator. And I went right to the committee, and that's when I, with Chris Coons in the anteroom, worked on a plan to have a week-long delay. And I felt that we needed to do due process, have a fulsome process. And I'm glad we did.
You were so taken back in that moment, in that you could see it in your face.
Yeah.
If those women were in this room right now, what would you say to them?
Well, I mean, the Me Too movement is real and needed and good. And I felt for them. You could tell that it was genuine. And I just want them to know that we hear them. Things are, I don't think will ever be the same after the last couple of years.
No.
And certainly, I should mention as well, I received throughout this process calls from friends and extended family and others who I never expected to hear what I heard from them about experiences they had had. I mean, people close to me that I'd known my whole life. And so this has really triggered a much-needed discussion about what's going on in the workplace or elsewhere, and also the reason that people don't come forward immediately. There are many, many reasons why they don't, and it's not as simple as the president says, oh, she should have come forward. That's just simplistic.
After the way he made fun of that
Right.
Dr. Blasey, what woman wants to put herself through that? Again, so nothing really got accomplished, in my opinion. I mean, I'm going to ask you a tough question. The FBI investigation, a lot of people say it was a complete sham because they never asked Kavanaugh or Dr. Blasey follow-up questions. They never really interviewed corroborating witnesses. It was kind of like a slapdash investigation, in the opinion, asking for a friend, of course. But
The scope was narrowed by the White House?
It was very narrow, and a lot of people say that it gave you cover to vote for him rather than that you really thought it through in a completely profound way.
I would have liked a broader investigation that started sooner. I think that would have been my preference and the preference of many. But to have a week, the Anita Hill investigation took 4 days. So it is possible, and the FBI is fully capable of doing this. And they did. It wasn't a broad investigation, but it was thorough. I wish that the country could have read that report. I don't want to get in the habit of making background investigations public. We really can't do that. But it was thorough for the scope that it was. And it did address and interview everybody that was there, that was said to have been there. It didn't go beyond to people that were secondhand witnesses, but it went 10 witnesses, I think 11 or 12 interviews for the people that were alleged to have been there, and it was thorough in that way, and it was illuminating.
Do you think he should have taken a polygraph test, Kavanaugh?
No, I don't think that you get into that. Then you'd have to go back into hers and say, how was that conducted, and you would put her through that again. I don't think, I think there's a reason, those in the legal field can probably say why you don't rely on those.
Well, but Senator, as a former sex crimes prosecutor, I prosecuted many cases with just a woman's testimony, because with sex crimes, there typically are no witnesses in the room. And I've convicted every single person based on a woman's testimony. Did you believe Dr. Blasey Ford's testimony under oath before the committee?
You know, she was very compelling. He was very persuasive. I don't know. I don't know. I wish I had the certitude that some of my colleagues expressed. But I said on the floor before that hearing, we're likely to leave the hearing with as much doubt as certainty. And that's how I felt afterwards.
But there was so much ambiguity the way you're describing it. Why not just find another person who had none of this ambiguity?
Well,
there are many judges out there who are quite capable of the job. Why him?
That's a valid view. On the flip side, people would say, with some justification, that if the mere allegation with no corroboration is sufficient to disqualify someone, we've entered a new phase that we probably don't want to enter. No, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know is a fair answer.
I don't know if I believed him either.
I think it's an honest answer.
It is.
And that's okay, by the way. In the world we live in, it's okay to not know sometimes or to not pick a side immediately.
And that's where politics has gone now. If any senator or any member of the House expresses any doubt or admits that they don't know the answer or that they might learn something from a hearing, there were only 3 or 4 of us who went into the initial hearing saying that we want to learn what happened in the hearing and hadn't already announced publicly how we would vote. And that's where politics has gone, because I can tell you, you get it from both sides. and people make the choice in politics now that you only want to be harangued by one side and not both sides. And that's the real problem today.
Well, the question that I have for you sort of goes along with, you know, what Sonny asked. And that is, if there's a modicum of doubt, because it's not just what she was saying, but also how people were comporting. Did he say, no, I never drank, and then maybe I drank, and then I kind of drank, and then I think I might have passed the beer once? When you have all of that, does that not give, is that not enough reason to take a break and say, maybe we need to get a different candidate? What's the woman's name?
Amy Coney Barrett, or I personally liked Mike Lee as Texas.
I did too, yeah.
You know, so why stick with this one when there's so much doubt, when you have 2, you know, who are probably going to serve you as not you, but serve the country as well? Why stick with this one? If you had doubt, because I think I heard you say, I'm not sure. Oh, sure. I don't know who so I'm just curious.
Sure, and that's a valid position that you can take, and some did take that position. But you have to think as well, if you have a situation, which we're in now, where it's totally partisan going in, if allegations alone are enough to disqualify someone, where does that leave us? He was, and when you look at his record on the court, on the D.C. Circuit Court, for 12 years, stellar record, a model of decorum and decency. And that's where you weigh, and I didn't like his interaction with some of the senators, in particular Klobuchar. And I thought, but then you weigh that against what he has done when he was...
It's the day before Thanksgiving, and we're giving great thanks for Michael B. Jordan. He showed the world how good he is at being bad in the biggest superhero movie of all time, Black Panther. And now audiences can't wait to cheer him on in the highly anticipated sequel to Creed, Creed 2. Please welcome the amazing, the fabulous, and one of the nicest men on the planet, Michael B. Jordan.
insane. The love is crazy.
I want to point out a young lady over there.
Gosh.
Can you move out the way? See the young lady with the stuff right there?
How you doing, young lady?
In the red, right there. The smile on her face. You are out.
Right here?
Right in the middle. That's it.
You're going to start a riot here. I mean, everyone is so... Ma'am, you're... good luck.
I gotta say, I've never seen the audience like this.
I know.
Unbelievable, but happy Thanksgiving to you.
Happy
One day
Thanksgiving
early.
to
We're
you
all
guys, too.
celebrating. I want to know what the tradition is in the Jordan family and what everyone's got an eating strategy. What is your eating strategy?
Eating strategy. All right, for me, I just get one big plate and I just kind of pile everything on.
Yes.
And because I don't like making multiple trips. I just take one big pile back to the couch and I just eat until I'm into like a deep coma-like sleep. And I just pass out and I end up waking up in the third quarter of the football game and I end up watching the rest of the game. So, football and food.
Well, we have to talk about the midterms, which were 2 weeks ago, and we're still talking about it, obviously. Before the elections, you went knocking on doors of black families in Atlanta to remind them how important their votes would be, which I thought was such an incredible thing to do. People were like losing their minds.
Yeah.
People were losing their minds.
She's doing the Wakanda. Like, open the door.
I get welcomed with that a lot.
It was amazing. So what made it important for you to do that?
I mean, honestly, you know, I think we keep saying that this is the most important year every year. This is the most important year. This is the most important year. I think things have been progressively getting, you know, a little worse. So this year is definitely the most important year thus far for voting. And I thought it was really important to get out there and, you know, let people know that their vote does matter, that their voice can make a change. You just need to get out there and actually exercise that right to vote, that our ancestors had, you know, had struggled and sacrificed so much to give us that ability. So I think,
Did you tell them that when you knocked on their door?
I tried to ease my way into that part of the conversation. But no, I just wanted to give them encouragement because the people that we were speaking with were local leaders of their communities that was getting other kids in the community out to the polls. And I just wanted to go out and thank those people for doing such a great job in their community and, you know, backing Stacey Abrams and stuff like that. So it was really important to me.
There's a lot of talk about inclusion in Hollywood, or lack of inclusion. But someone told me that you are basically taking the situation into your own hands. What are you doing about it?
I mean, I like to walk the walk. Talking is cool, but I just like to lead by example. I helped with Warner Brothers write their inclusion policy for the studio. And Just Mercy, this movie I just got finished doing about Bryan Stevenson, is the first film under that policy, and it's pretty much a first step to open up the doors and set a precedent for other studios to follow that lead.
What does it mean exactly?
It just basically means that you're going to that you're mandatory in each department head to see a person of color, a woman, somebody from the LGBT community, that they have to be in heavily consideration for that.
That's great.
Yeah, and Warner Brothers stepping up and doing that is a huge step. You know, it's a major. So salute to Warner Brothers and their entire company.
Thank you,
Wonderful.
That's
Yeah.
Yes. So your name is absolutely everywhere, clearly from the audience reaction. You're getting Oscar buzz for Killmonger. It's very exciting.
Yeah.
And you're back as Adonis Creed in Creed 2.
Yes, ma'am.
The first one was an origin story. What can fans expect from the second one?
I think the second time around, honestly, it was an honor to kind of rebuild on these characters and these relationships that we set up in the first one. A little bit of a revenge story. And, you know, at first with the
it.
you got some love. It'll make you laugh.
Good. I saw it yesterday.
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone, a.k.a. Rocky, is back in your corner. I love him, but things aren't always simple, and we have a clip.
Say I'm not going to be here forever.
And what's that supposed to mean?
That means you got to do...
Some good old drama.
Can I say something about the Rocky franchise?
What's up?
You might not care about this, but when my dad got sick, I said over and over again, and it's from Rocky, it's not how hard you get hit, it's how hard you can get hit and then keep moving forward. Yeah. And I say that almost every morning, and I love those movies.
No, I definitely care about that. What do you mean I don't care about that? No, that's the power of these films with Rocky and now Creed and Adonis is, you know, it's the motivation. It's that inspiring underdog kind of feeling of you know, what's your limits? Overcome overcome whatever challenges that are in front of you. And that's what I want people to feel when they see these movies, to be inspired. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was. Wait, my friend Cecile. Where's Cecile at? Cecile here? Where is Cecile? Oh, there she go. That's my auntie. I'm sorry, I gotta say. She's here. I love her. She's in the crowd. She thought she was gonna be here with her group of mothers. So they do a collective group, you know, and they go out and do certain things. And this is a trip, for her. So I just want to put her on blast real quick.
I gotta ask before I let you go, are you still singing? You're good at so many things, but singing is not one of them yet. You love to do it. We played a video last time you were here of you belting, and there's a new video I think we have. Watch this.
I catch moments. I usually hit those notes.
Yeah, that's a tough song.
I'm camera shy in the shower. I hit all of them.
Listen, man, you know, you are always welcome at this table.
Yes,
I've been a friend of The View for a long time. And we're just really so proud of you because, you know, as a little kid, you did, you know.
You guys literally watched me grow up, and you guys have helped me grow up, you know, and I really just appreciate you guys for being a home and a place to have these conversations and inspire people.
But we're all coming to your house at Thanksgiving.
Come. But no, seriously, I just want to thank you guys for what you guys do. It's really important, and, you know, I don't think it's appreciated enough, so thank you guys for doing that.
Our thanks to Michael B. Jordan. You gotta go see Creed 2, okay? It's in theaters today.
I can't wait.
Go and see Creed 2. Not playing with y'all. Not playing with you. We'll be right back.
So good.
Hi, everybody. It's Kristen. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm coming up on The View.
They've sold out shows.
Please.
It's all about popular. It's not about aptitude. It's the way you're viewed. So it's very sure to be very, very popular. Like me when cutbacks, even in Oz.
That was the fabulous Kristen Chenoweth blowing the roof off the joint to celebrate the 15th anniversary of the Broadway smash hit Wicked. I am still amazed that she is able to pack so much talent. She's this big.
Her little self.
You know, you can just put her in the pocketbook and take her wherever you want to. Please welcome one of the greats of all time, Miss Kristen Chenoweth. You are too much.
I love you so.
I love you too. It's so good to see you.
You too, and they got a pillow for me so I can see over this table.
How tall are you exactly?
I'm 4'11".
Oh, that's not so bad.
And I'm going to heaven, and it makes me feel 10 feet tall. Yeah.
Well, I am a huge super fan, as I told you backstage, and I went to the 15th anniversary. If anyone saw it, fantastic. The 15 years of Wicked.
I can't believe it there.
Oh, it was, and I wasn't even the biggest fangirl. I mean, people dressed up for this. It was a huge moment with you and Idina Menzel. I want to know, when was the moment you realized that your role would become so iconic?
Opening night in San Francisco. We opened in San Francisco, and I went, this show, not only are these roles going to hit, because it was Me Too, before Me Too, right? And I knew it. And I said, where do I sign for 10 years on the dotted line? I was thinking about the advance. I knew. I already knew. And then we opened on Broadway, but I knew. And, you know, Wicked wasn't received critically as great as it should have been. No. But it didn't matter.
I see that you're fully dressed, but you forgot something today. What was it?
I knew someone was going to tell you, Joy. I forgot my panties. Oh.
She forgot her underwear.
Yes,
I heard it in the hallway. The producers were on their microphone saying, Kristen forgot her underpants.
Well, I put on my dress. I was like, seems awfully breezy down there. Anyway, I got
natural air conditioning.
That's right. That's right.
As long as it comes in a package, I'm happy. Oh,
so you made your grand entrance in some kind of flying bubble thing, right? Weren't you scared? I mean, it's high up like that. That makes me nervous.
I was kind of nervous. We passed, when I went up, I had to go up at 5 minutes to 8. And we passed all the crew, you know, they're in the wings. I'm like, bye, bye, bye. And then, yeah, it was a little nervous, but I was harnessed in so
I know,
tight.
but that string could break, couldn't it?
Well, it was wire.
Whatever it is.
And knowing me, it could have. But I did have a bad neck injury during it.
Oh.
I remember thinking, oh no, the doctor had given me some medication, yeah, and should have told me taking a little bit less than my own body weight. So this is a note for y'all. I came out of that bowl, I was like, oh. I'm so happy. The Wicked Witch of the West is dead. I mean, I could hardly talk, but anyway. No.
Were you on that same medication today when you forgot your drawers? Huh?
We've been friends a long time, so we're silly. So listen, you know, together we've been working on this Thanksgiving Day special. It's called I'm Coming Home. And we sent you back home to Oklahoma where you surprised your old high school drill team. And they had a surprise for you, too, as it turns out. Shall we look at the clip?
Let's do.
Clip.
Okay, so can I sing?
Yes! We'll perform for you. I go. Oh, you do that?
Wait.
Gotcha.
What?
Gotcha.
That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
What was it like? Because it's really something when you go back to where you grew up. I mean, what was the biggest shock for you?
That I thought I was a lot taller than I was. Everything was so small. But also just like that teacher. I didn't realize she was going to be there. And she just instilled in me to be on time, to be professional, but she also was positive role model. You did good, Kristen. And I see that they're still doing it.
Yeah.
And it made me really proud.
Yeah.
I was so proud of it.
She believed in you.
She did. She believed in me, and she believed in all us girls. And I just also want to say that when you go home, if you haven't gone home, you should go home. Because it becomes about a bigger deal, you know.
Yeah.
It becomes about a bigger deal than yourself. Anyway.
Well, you know, you grew up with the arts. Am I right?
Well, I did. I grew up in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. There wasn't very many arts, but what there was, I did it.
You absorbed whatever you could.
Yes.
And now I understand that you're paying it back. What are you doing?
About 10 years ago, they opened the Performing Arts Center of Broken Arrow and named the theater the Kristen Chenoweth Theater. And I thought, well, I'm not old enough to have that. And they said, no, you are.
But you're famous enough.
Thank you. I had a heart attack. I was like, no, not yet. But what are you going to do with that when you see your name on there, you know, your dad's name, your granddad's name, and your family name? And I thought, I'm going to start a Broadway boot camp. So this year will be year 5. People audition. Last year we had over 1,000 kids. Well, I can only pick 40. I bring in all my famous friends to teach. You've been a part of it. You guys are unsafe. Both of you right here. And we do a 7-day intensive, singing, acting, dancing, and then we put on a show at the end. And I've got some future Tony Award winners and Grammy winners in this group.
That's really good.
That's really powerful.
I'm really proud of it.
Speaking of hometowns, you said it's such a comfort to go home.
Yeah.
You are going to my hometown very soon to Salt Lake City, Utah. You're going to be performing with the Tabernacle, which is, if you don't know, it's a huge deal. You know the Tabernacle.
Yeah.
And it is the biggest event of the year.
I'm excited because growing up, you know, in Oklahoma, we didn't have Broadway. We just didn't have that stuff.
Yeah.
So I watched the Tabernacle Christmas special every year. And though, you know, we don't agree on everything the same, I think it's important for me as a musician to get to make music with people that I have felt had made beautiful music most of my life.
Yeah.
So I get to do it.
Yeah.
I'm
Big
excited.
deal.
Oh, I have a dog, Bernie.
Oh, I know. I know Bernie.
He's on Instagram.
I know.
At Bernie Behar, for those of you who want to check him out. He has about 30,000 followers already, this dog.
I know.
I mean, it's an embarrassment because I don't have that many. And I understand that you have a dog also. What's your dog?
My dog is Thunder, and she's rapidly coming close to 30,000 followers.
Well, how come yours has a sock line and mine doesn't?
I don't know, Joy, get on
You
it.
have a sock line for this dog, right?
His socks came out yesterday.
Oh, my gosh.
And, you know, I think they're great stocking stuffers, but, I mean, I'm like a mom. You know, I think my kid's the cutest. I love Bernie, but I love Thunder.
Yeah, they're both cute.
They
I must
are.
say. That's a very cute dog.
I rescued her 2 years ago, and she just changed my life.
Yeah.
I love her.
Rescues are great.
You know what?
Rescue me.
Rescue me. And you know what? I was adopted. Some would say that I was rescued.
You're a rescue also.
That's right.
That's why
I forgot.
Like it.
That's a.
Yeah.
So it comes full circle.
Exactly. And that's what that coming home special really did for me.
That's beautiful.
It was awesome.
Love
Thank y'all for having me.
Thanks for coming.
We love you. Come back.
Thank you to Kristen Chenoweth. You can catch our Thanksgiving special, I'm Coming Home, tomorrow at 10 p.m. right here on ABC. We'll be right back.
The day after chemo shouldn't be...
Weird little family to yours. We want you to have a great day. Take a little time to enjoy the view, and happy Thanksgiving. God bless us.
World-class heart care is closer than you think.
My heart